everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be reviewing the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. So this was on my wish list and I'm so excited that I got it. Honestly, this palette is so beautiful, you guys. So basically we have the external packaging, which looks like this. We have a lot of different collage photos of different travel scenes, front and back. It's just so cute. It's pretty hefty. Inside we have a nice mirror, and then of course we have all of the eyeshadows. So this is the eyeshadow look that I chose today. I worked with Weekender, I didn't do Still Shot. I did Riff, Good As Gone, Baja, Wonderlust, and Breakaway. So that's how I created this really nice, like warm toned green look. So I am pumped about this palette, and you will see at the end whenever I do the review, but this is a demo, so you do get to actually see close up how exactly the eyeshadows blend out. And yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoy. I have my little, I don't know if you can see it, but my baby hippo Fiona t-shirt on because I was just not in the mood to like put on something cute. So that's life, right? I'm just keeping it real with y'all. This is what YouTube is all about. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and jump on in. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes using the NYX HD Studio primer. No, this is not a primer. Oh my God. It has been so long since I've done a makeup tutorial that I like can't talk. But anyways, this is a concealer. This is how I always prime my eyelids, just because I do have a lot of veins for my eyelids, and this really helps to conceal them. Any sort of like clear eyeshadow primer does not work well for me because my veins tend to shine right through my eyeshadow. So I just buff this out lightly on my eyelids, and then to set that, I'm going into my Tarte palette, and I'm taking the shade right here called Enhance, and I'm just going to dust that over that concealer so that we don't have any sort of tackiness left over. This is going to make sure that the shadows we use go on nice and smooth. So we do have my cat Freddie here, who will be joining us for today's video. So if you see him like running around behind me, that's what's going on. All right, so now we're going to be digging into the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. First of all, look at this packaging. It is so on point. It is absolutely gorgeous. The back has photos of travel destinations as well. It feels pretty hefty. It's definitely not like a plastic, like flimsy sort of cardboard palette at all. When I first saw it on camera with some of my friends and other YouTubers, I was like, oh, is that cardboard? Like, what is that? Because it just looks kind of like a cardboard would look, I guess. But inside we have this really nice, beautiful mirror. I'm trying to like not show you guys everything. But then down here we have all of the eyeshadows, if you can see that. So we actually have a really nice range of mattes, shimmers, and metallics in here. I'm very excited. So I figured today my inspiration is kind of working with this shade right here called Wonderlust. It is this beautiful hunter green with flecks of, it looks like gold. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to be working with warm browns, and then this is going to be all over the lid. So I will say that I have used this a couple of times just doing everyday warm tone looks, and these shadows blend out like a dream, and you guys will see that. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in really quick. Don't mind the little acne spots that I have all over my face right now. I don't know what's going on. It's probably just stress, but my face is breaking out a lot more than usual. So that is that. Another thing I just wanted to add really quick is whenever you have the palette, because it does have this really nice flexible bend in it, the mirror folds all the way back. So for any one of you who is a YouTuber, it's kind of really nice because it just folds back and you don't have to blind people with the mirror. So that's good. But the first shade I'm going in with is this one right here called Weekender. This really beautiful kind of peachy transition shade. I'm just going to take that on a fluffy blending brush. Oh my gosh, these are so creamy. All right, now I'm just going to lightly buff this into my crease. So we can see that it's just a little tiny bit darker than my skin tone, which is exactly what I'm looking for because I want this to be an eyeshadow that I can go back in with later once we have set down other eyeshadows, and this is going to help us blend those all together. So that's the idea of a transition shade. All right, next up I'm going in with this shade right here called Rough. It's a really beautiful pale terracotta shade, and I'm going to take that on a smaller blending brush and apply that directly into my crease. Oh, I'm sorry, the shade is called Riff, not Rough. I would think that it was rough though because I'm a dog lover. So I'm just taking my Sigma E40 because this is a more condensed blending brush and just applying that directly into my crease. Now, as you guys can see, it blends really, really well. Like I'm hardly having to do anything crazy to have this blend out. So I am taking this all the way to that inner corner and then doing circular motions as, sorry, my phone. And then doing circular motions as I go back out towards the tail of my brow area because I want this to be kind of more of like a cat eye effect. So I'm taking this all the way into that inner corner to make sure that I'm carving out that crease really well. I honestly, at this point, don't even feel like I need to go back in with Weekender, but I'm going to. You guys can see how nicely blended out this is, but I'm just going to add a little bit more of that shadow right above the crease, just so it's more of like a blown out look. All right, so now I'm going in with Good As Gone right here, which looks to be a matte, but if you look very closely in person, it has a tiny, tiny little bit of pressed, like little flecks of glitter in it as well, which probably just makes it have like a really nice sheen. So I'm going to take that on my Sigma, what is this, my E25, and I'm going to apply that to the outer corner and slowly blend it into my outer crease. So I'm going to do patting motions like this. If you can see that, it's very, very pigmented. So patting motions. And this is always kind of like the uglier part of a smoky eye. And then I'm going to slowly build it into that outer crease right here, just taking the flat edge and working that into my crease. And I just want to show you, so this is going into the shade Twice. So for a very rich chocolate brown, you can see that there's hardly any kickback at all because it is such a buttery, rich formula. So honestly, that's like a really, really great sign for me. So I'm trying to think of, just as like a side note, what episode I want to do next for my podcast. I feel like I want to talk a little bit more about my book experience and like why I decided to write a book, how long I've been thinking about that, just because I don't necessarily have a forum where it's like I can just talk about my book. I know I've mentioned it here on this channel a couple of times, but I don't know, I just feel like people come here for makeup, so I don't go super into depth or spend a lot of time talking about my writing journey. So I figured I would do that over the weekend, and it will be posted this upcoming Wednesday, which is, my podcast is now available on iTunes, Polish the Tarnish. You can search for it in case you are curious. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about the podcast and whether or not you would like to see something like that or see something different. Just keep me posted. All right, I'm gonna go back in with Riff right here and just kind of buff out that Good as Gone shade in that outer V. Yeah, these colors blend so nicely together, I can't even say it. So now to kind of add just a little bit of a pop, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is a really beautiful kind of orangey shade. It's called a Baja. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that and just pop it into my crease area. If I can find a brush, there we go. Interesting matte. So you guys can see how much I picked up on my brush and literally no fallout. Like there is nothing. It is so buttery in that pan that there is no fallout, and I have a lot of product here on my brush, so that's pretty cool if you ask me. But I'm just gonna lightly dust this into that crease for a little bit of added warmth. So far I am like really impressed with these matte shades that I'm working with. I mean, the level of creaminess, I feel like they probably put a lot more oil or some sort of cream in there that is probably a lot more than they normally do, because these are so buttery. Like you guys can see how well they blend together. There's no patchiness, there's nothing like that. It's just really, really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Wonderlust right here, which is the star of the show. And I'm actually going to spritz my brush with a little bit of Pixie Glow Mist, just to get my brush nice and wet so the color stays on it well. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pigmented, y'all. Like nothing even comes off whenever I just like tapped off the excess. All right. Oh my God, are y'all see that, right? Like, holy cow. Oh my gosh. This is like a dream come true right now. This is so pigmented, like I can't. I am blown away. Like Urban Decay just stole my heart for eyeshadows. Like this is so incredible. This is so good. I have never seen such a creamy formula with these kinds of shades that has like virtually no fallout. This is blowing my mind right now. Okay, well, that's pretty much as pigmented as you can get, so I'm pretty freaking pumped about this, to be completely honest. And the colors in the palette are just so unique and different. Like, I mean, of course we have the really nice warm tone transition shades, but as far as the metallics go, like they really came up with some cool colors. All right, so I'm super impressed, but next up we're gonna take Breakaway right here, which is a really nice kind of iridescent creamy vanilla shade. And I'm going to highlight the brow bone. Just touch it right under here. Yeah, oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. All right, y'all, so I'm going to finish off the rest of my face and then come back to the under eyes, and then we will talk about this palette. All right, so I have the rest of my face on, and basically I am going to start with Good as Gone right here, that really nice chocolate brown that we used, and I'm going to take a pencil brush and apply that. Ooh, get into focus, camera. I'm going to apply that to the outer corner of my lower eye, and that way it kind of gives more that doe-eyed effect, because we're going to only bring it in about halfway right here. Okay, and then we're going to buff the whole thing out with a lighter shade after that. All right, so now I'm gonna go back into Riff, which is this color right here. And I'm going to take that all the way across. For inner corner highlight, I'm going to dive into the Makeup Revolution Soph X palette, and I'm going to take, what shade should I use? I'm going to take this white one right here on a little baby brush and just apply that to the inner corner right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Kind of pull that up a little bit and drag it down. I wanted it to have a little bit of a pop, and this will also help kind of break up that darkness that we have going on. All right, so now I'm just going to pop on some mascara and lips off camera, and I will be right back. All right, y'all, so this is the completed look. I am so happy with the way that the eyes turned out. I just think that this palette is so beautiful. All of the eyeshadows that I used, I genuinely have no complaints about them whatsoever. I feel like they were rich and buttery and creamy and pigmented. They all blended really nice together. It wasn't like they got muddy or anything like that. They work really, really well together. Obviously I only use so many of the eyeshadows that are in this palette, but I have, like I said, played around with it quite a bit for everyday looks, and I've never had any problems. The colors stayed on my eyes like for a really, really long time whenever I use them for work and stuff like that. So as far as this look goes, I feel like this is going to be a go-to like date night look. I love it so much. That green is just really, really beautiful, super reflective. Honestly, I am super excited about Big Sky, which is this metallic, like really interesting blue gray right here. So I could definitely see myself using that in the near future. And then we also have some really beautiful like pink cranberries over here as well. I just feel like for an everyday palette that you're going to use to go to work and then also to transition into a nighttime look, I feel like this is awesome. Like, I have nothing bad to say. The eyeshadows are very pigmented and creamy, and they have a really nice range. So we have this one, Weekender, Still Shot, Riff, Baja, Punk, and Hell Ride are all completely matte. And then we have some like Good Is Gone, Breakaway, and Jet that are matte but have a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's kind of like a satin matte. And then the rest are shimmers or full metallic. So honestly, like, this is my dream palette. This is the type of palette that I have been talking about for a long time, to where I don't have to pull out other eyeshadow palettes or other singles to get an eyeshadow that I am looking for. It comes with the perfect transition shades. It comes with some really nice variety of colors. And we also have, of course, what I talk about that I want in every single palette, which is a really, really beautiful highlight for the brow bone. So I'm very impressed with this eyeshadow palette. Here's another close-up of it as well. This does retail for a higher price. I think it's $49, I want to say. I'm not completely sure. I don't remember exactly how much it was because I used points for it. But I will say that for me, this is the palette that I would spend, well, I did spend my money on as far as high-end palettes go, and I talk about this a lot. So it comes with a mirror. The packaging is really heavy-duty material. It's not going to be anything that's flimsy or breaks on you. It has that really nice solid magnet, so it's not anything that's going to open up and break up your eyeshadows. The external packaging is just so cute and very unique. I've never seen anything like this before. And of course the mirror is like huge, and it's a really, really nice mirror. So if you were going traveling, this would be a palette that I would definitely take with you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this review video. I am going to have some like closer shots of the eyes input at the beginning of this video that you will see. So that being said, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments if you have purchased this palette or if it is on your wish list. I would love to know. And yeah, so I hope that you guys have a really beautiful night, and I will see you next time. Bye.